Hey my angels, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna jump right into this eye look for today. Now I'll be using mostly the Morphe and JamesCharles palette for this, but I am going to be starting off with the Take Me Back to Brazil BH Cosmetics palette. I'll be taking that kind of like lime greenish, neon greenish color first, and that's going to be my transition color. Now this was not supposed to be a voiceover, but for copyright reasons, since I did have my TV playing in the background, I had to make this a voiceover. So let me know if you guys prefer the voiceovers, and I'll go ahead and do that. I believe my next video is also a voiceover, so let me know if you guys would prefer voiceovers, or if you just wanted me to do a walkthrough while I'm doing the makeup instead. So just comment down below, or I'll have a poll probably on my Instagram. See, that way you guys can let me know what you prefer. So I'm just taking that lime green color and blending it into my crease. I'm not very precise with this one, since it's just my transition color, and it gets mostly covered up with the other colors. So now I'm taking that like green, that it's like more of a true green color, and I'm gonna go ahead and darken up the crease with that one. So first what I like to do is I place down the color, so I'll pat it in to know where I want it. So I'll pat it in with the color, and then I'll go back and slightly blend it out. So first I pat it in because I want to get as much color as I can, the intensity. I don't want to pick up the color, blend it out right away, have to go back, pick up more color, blend it out, and going back and forth. So what I do is I grab the color, I pat it in, and then slowly blend it out, and you don't lose as much intensity, so you don't have to go back and forth to get the color that you want, or the intensity that you want. So I did go in a second time right here. Again, I patted it in, and then I slightly blend it out. So going back with that first brush that I used, whatever is left on the brush, I blend it out just to make sure there are no harsh lines. So now I am going in with the JamesCharles palette. I will be taking the shade Daddy. So I'm using the same technique I used for the last shadow. I'm just placing it down, and then I'm going to blend it out. I just want to darken it up even more, because that darkness is going to really show where we cut the crease. And that's what you want to do. If you don't want to do like glitter in that cut to really show where you cut your crease, what I do is I just really make sure that that color is really dark, and then you'll see later on in this video what I mean. It's gonna really show the difference between the regular shadows and then the other shadow. It's gonna have like that really defined cut right there. So I just put down the shade, and now I'm blending it out slightly, and I am blending up towards the other colors. So just make sure that you really blend it out, and once again you could always go back with the first brush that you used and make sure that there are no harsh lines. Blend it out so everything looks seamless. Okay, and as you can see, I am going back in with the same color Daddy, and I'm just going back and forth using that same color just because I do want to deepen it up, and I'm just going back until I get the intensity that I want. At this point, my father-in-law did come and get me because he had made some tacos, so I had to take a break while I ate. So now that we're back, I did have both eyes done now, and I'm just going to grab some concealer, and I just did carved out my crease. So I'm only doing the half cut crease. So still obviously using the JamesCharles palette. I grabbed that shade Guac, which is like a shimmery kind of olive color. Now this color I am not going all the way in. I'm starting off on the edge of the concealer and then just slowly bringing it in. But I am leaving that front part by itself for right now. I'm not touching that front part because I am going to be using a different shade. And what I did, I kind of went in diagonally with the olive green, just because since I do have hooded eyes, going diagonally would show off the other color the way that I wanted. But you could always just do it differently if you don't like the way that I did it. So I just went ahead and patted it in very lightly with a packing brush. And then I'm going to be going in with the shade, I believe it's called B. Yeah, B. And then a smaller packing brush just because I really want to go into that inner corner at the very edge of where we carved the concealer. So I'm just packing it in. Now this brush is small, but I did go in with an even smaller brush just to go very into where we carved the crease because I don't want to mess up that edge that we have. So I'm just packing in this color, trying to get as close as I can, but obviously as you could tell I couldn't get that close, so I do go in with a smaller brush later. So now I'm going in with a smaller brush with the same shade B, and I'm going really into that cut that we did, that carve that we did. Now if you do mess up this part, just go in with the dark shadow that you used on a small brush. So I used Daddy, so I would grab Daddy, that shadow on a small brush, pressing it lightly to where we did the carve, and then going back in with a blending brush and just blend it out so that carve is really defined. So now I'm just making sure that B and Guac are really blended into each other. I don't want there to be a defined line of where B stops and where Guac starts. So I'm going back in and just making sure that those two shadows are blending into each other nicely. So now just going back in with Daddy, I'm darkening up that outer corner. So like the technique I was doing earlier, I just place it down, I pat it in, and then I go in with a blending brush and blend it out just so everything is nice and blended out. So now that we have both eyes done, I'm just going to get some mascara and choose what falsies I'm going to use and put those on. Now, before I put on my falsies, I actually am going in with a black eyeshadow, and I'm just going to line the top of my lash line with an angled brush, and this just helps me blend in the falsies better since I don't have really full lashes. So if we do use really full lashes, they blend in nicely. So now that I have the lashes put on, we're gonna finish up the bottom. So I'm going in with the shade Daddy, and on just a small angled brush, I'm going to get really close up to my lash line and just lining it, but I'm not going in all the way in, I'm going in just halfway, just because I do like that cat eye look. So I try to keep it darker towards the outside and then light in the inner corner. So that's why I just use a darker shade halfway through. And then I'm going in with the green color from the BH Cosmetics palette. So I'm just using a small blending brush and then just blending out that dark green color. Now after adding that shadow on my bottom lashes, I'm just going to add some mascara. Now this eye look I think would look really nice also as like a purple and pink. So instead of that yellow bee color that I used in the inner corner, maybe using like a hot pink color, that would look really nice as well. So now I'm just going to set my face using the Smashbox priming water. Now if you do recreate this look, make sure to tag me on Instagram or even Twitter, and I'll post the ones that I like. So I'll leave my Instagram and my Snapchat and everything down in this description box. Alright, and this is the finished look, you guys. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Let me know if you guys like voiceovers and if you want to see more cut creases and what colors you would like to see. All my information will be down in the description box. If you recreate this look, make sure to tag me so I could take a look at it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.